Hello and welcome to episode 64 of Stitched in Sweden. I'm Maria and you can find me on Ravelry as mmonska and on Instagram as Stitched in Sweden. I thought I would just pop in for a few minutes today to give you a brief update about what I have been doing the past couple weeks. Actually, at this point, maybe it's only a week or two, so since I last talked to you. But I've been doing a lot of house projects, apartment projects, because my parents have been in town and I actually didn't do any knitting or sewing while they were here, but I've done a little bit since they left. So anyway, I thought I would just give you a little bit of an update, but this episode will be more focused on some DIY home improvement type things and less knitting sewing focused, but I thought that might be of interest to some of you, so here we go. First of all, I haven't been in this room before to film because this is my kitchen, and before this wall behind me was just a white wall with many nail holes and screw holes from previous residents, but now it is a beautiful blue, and I am realizing that the camera doesn't like it too much, but I think that you can still appreciate the major change that we've had in the kitchen since last time. Of course, you don't know that it's a change because I've never been in the kitchen before, but here you go. So we have a small kitchen, and we decided, mostly I decided, to paint one of the walls in it this color blue. The rest of it is white, and the cabinets are white and gray. I guess I can give you a little flip screen view. Here is our kitchen. You can see our flower pot that we planted on the windowsill there. Our table here with my knitting bag on it. Our new shelves, refrigerator, and then if I go back a little bit, our other new shelves. We're still trying to decide what to put in this big frame. But there it is. You can see also my little birds that hang here and on the wall. Yes. I have a little outside view while we're here, might as well. See all the bright green popping out of the trees. None of those trees had leaves on them when my parents first arrived. Yay! You can see the water if you look right in the center of the screen right now. So this is my kitchen, and I just thought it would just be nice to give it a little bit of an update, and the way I thought that we could do that was to paint one of the walls. And we also put up this shelf here, which is sort of a floating shelf, but it's not really because it has a little back part to it. And I have some cookbooks on it right now. The Green Kitchen, which is one of my favorite vegetarian cookbooks, written by a Swede and a Danish lady who live in Stockholm, actually. And then The Modern Preserver, which is a book which I have talked about before, that I have really been inspired by to do some jam making and preserving and that kind of thing. I also made I very successfully made some pickled ginger from that book, which, yeah, was amazing, and I need to do that again because it was pretty simple too. So the past couple weeks, actually last week, spring was in full force. My parents were visiting and we had beautiful weather almost the entire time that they were here. And since my dad left midway through the week and my mom left at the end of the week, and since then it has snowed here every single day. So I just sped bike home between, snow showers. There was just a sunny spot a sunny spot of weather that popped up, and I thought, now is my chance. So I jumped on my bike and biked home, and I'll work an extra hour or two tonight from home, because I left a little bit early, but it was worth it, because just as I was pulling up to our apartment, there was some flakes starting to fall, so that's fine. Anyway, how did I just, because I was thinking about the weather, because spring sprang completely while my parents were here, and all of the cherry trees were blooming, and the forsythia were just bursting out, so it was amazing also to have my parents here, so we had kind of this time frame of actually when this all happened. All the trees are getting their little mini green leaves that are just that intense bright chartreuse color that is just very spring-like. So anyway, we are enjoying some forsythia in the kitchen, and so another project. So we did a couple of other things in the kitchen to kind of upgrade a little bit, and one of the things is that I reupholstered our two main kitchen chairs that we have. So I'm sitting in one of them right now, and I'll get up and show you, but let me talk about it a little bit first. We have two kitchen chairs that are just wooden chairs that Thomas's parents gave us. I think they were sort of extra chairs for them, but they gave them to us when we moved in here, and they had a sort of denim-y blue but very faded, worn out upholstered seat on them, and I sort of have been thinking about reupholstering them for a little while because they were not necessarily super comfortable to sit in because the cushioning was quite worn out, but also they weren't very attractive. So I was thinking about saving the fabric to show you, and I should have taken a before picture of the chairs, but I didn't, and the fabric was disgusting after we took it off. There were a couple of layers of fabric that we found. I basically did this project with my mom in an evening, and it was actually more work than we expected. But here is one of the chairs, and you can see I have some Rightful Paper Co. fabric on there. This is a canvas from their first Les Fleurs collection, and that's the chair. So basically it's a pretty simple wooden chair, and this cushion before was a pretty boring, worn out fabric blue. So now they have a nice bit of, let's see, this is very awkward. They've got some nice cushion to them, and I think we pretty much, not only did we replace the old cushion that was in there, which was just worn out because foam wears out, but we replaced it with 2 pieces of 2 centimeter thick foam, so 4 centimeters total, to just give it some more squish to it. And I think before, the one that was in there was probably only 1 piece of 2 centimeter foam that was worn out, so you could pretty much feel the wood on the bottom. We did it with a staple gun, and basically we had the cushion upside down. I stood on the back of after we took the cushion part, unscrewed it from the base of the chair. It has like a piece of wood on the bottom, which I'll show you, I guess. Let's see. You can see the wood on the bottom, and then you can see our fabric there. Oh, that's gross. So I stood on that piece of wood with the fabric and the cushions, and then the wood, I stood on top of it we pulled the fabric over the edges and staple gunned it. Staple guns are not the easiest thing to use, apparently. If you have normal woman-size hands. But it was totally worth it, and I'm really happy with how they turned out. So I think that is another, it definitely brightens up our kitchen a little bit and just sort of, yeah, improves it, definitely. But yeah, so that is basically what we have done to upgrade this room a little bit, and I think I will bring you back to the living room for the rest of the podcast. Be back soon. Alright, so now I am back in the living room in my normal spot. Well, not really my normal spot, but this room is my normal spot for recording, and I have a couple of new updates for this room too, but mostly just one that we have finished with now. So I'm going to be putting up 2 more of the shelves that were in the kitchen, the long shelves that hold the frames. We have one that's the same length and then a shorter one that will go up in this room, but I haven't done those yet. But the main thing that changed about this room is that we got a new piece of furniture, and that is the cabinet, which is right here. This is a cabinet which we got on Blocket, which is sort of Sweden's equivalent to Craigslist, if you know that from the US. And Thomas and I picked this up on the day after my parents arrived. We borrowed his parents' car and went and got this cabinet from some people. You can also see me recording. Yeah, so there's the cabinet, and you can see that I haven't really filled it up yet, but that top shelf there has my fabrics all washed and folded in there. I have a little bit more fabric here and on the second shelf, but I still have lots of space for other fabrics and probably some yarn in there too, but I think I will probably continue to sort of set up this room a little bit next weekend, hopefully getting up the shelves and stuff like that. And after we get the shelves up, I think I will also start to put some of my things away into that closet, which are currently on the bookshelf. The bookshelf will also possibly be getting the same color paint, which is now on the kitchen wall, and I'm planning on putting some backdrop paper. I found some beautiful paper at a new bookshop that my mom and I found while she was here, and I think it would look so nice in the back of a bookshelf, so that is probably another project for the future, hopefully near future. Shelving reminds me that also in the kitchen we have a really ugly countertop thing shelf above the radiator. I don't know if you saw that in my video. Currently it's covered with an also not so beautiful table runner that's blue and striped, but it's covering an even uglier slab of counter, which it acts as a shelf there. Anyway, I am waiting for some marble patterned contact paper to come in the mail, which I will be putting over that counter, so I will update you on how that goes. But I'm excited for that because that counter is just really ugly. Anyway, so yeah, that is what's new in this room, and that is it for home improvement as of now. But I think I will just show you what I have been working on a little bit since my parents left, and that is my Find Your Fade shawl. I didn't work on it at all while they were here. We were just busy doing other things, and I pretty much expected that. I don't usually knit a lot in their presence, I guess. That sounds weird, but knitting was sort of a thing that I started after I moved out of their house while I was away at school in the US when I went to the University of Puget Sound, and I would knit with my friends there. So even though I do enjoy spending time knitting with my mom, because she also knits, it's not something that we do that often. Well, obviously we don't do it that often now because we don't live together, but we just find a lot of other stuff to do also. So no knitting happened while they were here, but I have done a little bit since they left, and I'll show you that now. So I'm holding up this yarn is the, it's from Hey Sister Yarn Co. Do I have my tag right there? I think I do. Let's see. Okay, I think this is called Can't Take the Sky From Me, and it's on the Geronimo sock. And this is my 6th color in the Find Your Fade shawl, which is a pattern, if you don't know, by Andrea Mowry. And I am on the 6th out of 7 colors of this gigantic shawl. And I'm still enjoying it, so I'll give you a little view. We're starting with some, oh, let me give you the full view first, if I can. So this is where I am right now. And you can see I'm just working on kind of fading in the 6th color now. Yeah. Crazy. Huge. The first color I have is some leftover yarn, Cashmere Merino nylon blend from the Wool Barn, which is a beautiful pink shade. And then I have some Gregoria fibers, also lovely pinks and purples a little bit. And then I faded into some Frida Fuchs, which is this kind of more whitey color here with a little bit of pink. And then it transitions to another white color with a bit more yellow in it, which is from Gregoria fibers. And then this more kind of greeny yellow one is Gregoria fibers. And now I'm onto the Hey Sister yarn, which is a bit of a brighter blue, or not brighter blue, I would say more of a sky or baby blue, compared to the last Gregoria fibers one, which had a bit of more of a dusty tone to it, I would say. This is all that I have left from my 5th color, and so far this is the smallest amount that I've had left from any of the colors. With the exception of my 1st color. I don't even know where that ball is. But that was because it was already a leftover piece from the beginning. I didn't start with a full skein. But all of these I started with a full skein, and so my 1st color, my fade, goes here where my finger is, and then these are the other colors in order. That's how much I have left. I'm still planning on making a little sweater out of these, but I don't know if I'll have very much to use, like to do with this color. So we'll see how that goes, but yeah, so that is that for now, and I hope to get it finished up kind of soon. I have my thesis presentation at the end of May. My thesis is finished for now. It's like the never-ending project, but I have submitted it to my supervisor, and he returned it to me and said that it was ready for submission to the examiners, and so I'm just waiting to present at the end of May. But during that time I will be in presentations from 8 till 4 for 3 days in a row, and then half a day on the last 4th day. So there's going to be a lot of knitting time, and I kind of want to have a new project on the needles for that, and I need to kind of think of what that project is going to be, because the fade shawl is actually would be an ideal project to have for in-class knitting, because basically you can do a lot of it without really paying that much attention, but at this point it's too big to take to class with me really and have it on my lap, so I prefer to use this as my couch knitting, and it's a nice warm extra blanket while sitting on the couch and knitting it at the same time. So the moral of this story is I need to think of a new project, especially one that will be knittable in class during the presentations. So I think that is it for my update this week. I am actually looking for some recommendations if any of you are willing or able, I don't know, if you're willing to share with me what type of camera you use for recording your video podcasts. That would be lovely. I am hoping to upgrade my equipment a bit now after graduation, and I have some plans and kind of thinking about some new things for the podcast, so part of that includes upgrading some equipment. Right now I'm still recording on my iPad, and for several reasons it's just not working very well anymore, and I'm ready for an upgrade. So if you have a camera which is good for recording videos and taking pictures, ideally that has Wi-Fi capabilities, I would be very interested to hear. Also, if you have a microphone that is not a lapel mic, some of you have mentioned that I have been difficult to hear in the past few episodes. That's because my mic bit the dust, and I have not replaced it yet because I'm hoping to do sort of an overall equipment upgrade, and I didn't really want to upgrade to I didn't want to purchase a similar lapel mic. In the meantime, I'd rather just upgrade to a different mic soon. So let me know if you have any tips, and I hope that you are having a lovely spring and enjoying Me Made May. This is not Me Made. It would probably fit me better if it was Me Made. You can see here is a perfect example of how shoulder seams on me are always too far in. Because in order to buy something which fits the rest of my body, like, yeah, my waist, okay, now this is like crumpled up, but in order to buy something that fits the rest of my body, the shoulders are almost always too small. But I have started doing some posture exercises with Fitness Blender, which is a free online YouTube video program, which I really enjoy doing, and I've done it in the past, to try to improve my posture and hopefully flatten or like just fix the shape of my shoulder blades, which currently protrude quite extremely and also make fitting shirts difficult. So that was kind of random, but anyway, I hope you are having a nice spring or fall if you're in the southern hemisphere, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye!